days later.
Once it's recorded.
You ready? 3, 2, 1. Go. Inheritance. Cancellation of the Constellation program brought the U.S. space leadership to process. Both space needs every continent. Today our country stands at a crossroad in the future of U.S. leadership in space. Obama's 2011 budget scraps the Constellation program, radically scales back the U.S. ambitious access and controlled exploration into space. Once we forsake these opportunities, it will be very hard to win them back. If we do not do this moon colonization and with the U.S. only, U.S. space leadership will be compromised, and other world contenders like China or Russia will try and will succeed in taking over space. Russia will build a permanent moon base. GonzalezSpace.com May 2012. Russia has ambitious plans for interplanetary exploration. On Tuesday, the announcement from the head of country space agency drove that point home. Russia wants to go to the moon, they want to stay there. We're not talking about 40 years ago, said Vladimir Popovkin. We're talking about establishing permanent bases. Russia is not alone in lunar ambitions. Japan has interest in moon exploration. Japan's interest in moon exploration has been clear. As evidence proves, Russia has clearly outlined their plans to build a permanent base, and they are not alone in their ambition. Japan also wants to join them, which means that US is soon going to lose. Harms. Astronomically expensive plan could mean doom. Arsenal, January 2012. Newt Gingrich wants to colonize the moon. By the end of my second term, 2020, we will have the first permanent base on the moon, and it will be American. The Republican U.S. presidential hopeful said to a cheering crowd. In a town with links to the space industry, a whopping budget deficit and cuts to the military do not seem to have dampened Gingrich's astronomically expensive plans for a lunar colony with 13,000 residents. If Newt Gingrich was still running for president, this plan would have led to the doom of us all. Even so, the remaining president candidates might copy the idea and eventually spend too much money to gain back. Current Earth-based energy technology is too dangerous. Dada People's Tribunal 2011. Out-of-body energy only could have potential for catastrophic failure. If a big dam fails catastrophically, many downstream towns and villages might be severely damaged. In case of a nuclear reactor catastrophe, impacts can be far greater, and a large area around this disaster zone will be unusable for us humans for centuries or even millennia due to the radioactive contamination. This shows that the Earth's energy right now is too dangerous for the human population, and this is exactly why we should colonize and mine the moon for new places to experiment prototypes and a place to find new material. Radiation kills humans by pollution. Leak radiation finds spray into human and animal bodies, causing long-term radiation damage. Weeks after the Fukushima disaster, human mother's milk was found to be contaminated with radioactive iodine, potentially exposing the suckling infants to thyroid cancer. The Chernobyl disaster forced the slaughter of thousands of cattle, and their milk and meat was found to contain radioactive materials. Also, Nuclear Energy Institute May 2012. As of May 2012, 30 countries worldwide are operating 436 nuclear reactors for the electricity generation, and 66 nuclear plants are under construction. Nuclear power plants provided 13.5% of the world's electricity production in 2010. Nuclear energy provides 13.5% of the world's energy, as my evidence just said. And if radiation can do that much damage, then we are all doomed unless we take a different mindset and mine the moon for extra resources, or actually just colonize it. Unilateral action is key. Stone, SP analyst 2011. Experienced American space professional with knowledge of the international space cooperation and policy understand that the importance of shaping a strategic space environment to benefit U.S. vital interests. The new national space policy needs to lead and declare goals and objectives for the development of American leadership. International cooperation should be at best in appropriate bilateral or multilateral agreements and not in a national space policy. Unilateral action is key, but we do not have that right now. If we do not let the US do this plan, then they will drop out of competition at this world power. Solvency. Plan. The United States federal government should launch a mission beyond the Earth's mesosphere pertaining to the mining and colonizing of the moon. 1. Race for space will be played out on the moon first. We'll give the first one their geopolitical high ground. Smith NASA Advisory Council of 2009. Strategically, the race for space dominance will be played out on the moon first and soon. This has implications for the future of liberty on Earth. If China and Russia dominate the settlement of the moon, liberty will be at risk. Only the U.S. can ensure the elimination of the space-related risk to the liberty. If we abandon the leadership in accessing research, science, and settlement potential of our nearest neighbor to any other nation, the ability for the U.S. to protect themselves will be a great risk. This card shows that the moon is a key cog in the world power and must not fall into the wrong hands, which means that the U.S. needs to do this. Moon colonization is the key to hard and soft power. Buddhist Planetary Institute, February 2010. This is a statement from both soft and hard power projection. By leading the world into space, we guarantee that space does not become the private domain for powers who view humanity as cogs in the ideological machines. The vision was created to extend human reach beyond its current limit of low Earth orbit. There is a new space race. It's just as important and vital to our country's future as the original. It consists of a struggle with both hard and soft power. The hard power aspect is to confront the ability of the other nations to deny us access to our vital satellite assets. The soft power aspect is a question. How shall society be organized in space? Both issues are equally important and both are addressed by lunar return. The decision made now will decide the fate of the space for generations. We cannot afford to relinquish our foothold in this space. This question of the moon is the key to hard and soft power, which means that the US has to take the initiative and go again where once no man has never went before. Solving the resource scarcity is key to world peace. Garen Astronaut 2010. We live in a world of finite resources. The global population continues to grow. The human race must now utilize resources from space in order to survive. We are already constrained by limited resources. The decision made today will have a profound effect on the future of humanity. When we reach a point of sustainable space operations, we will be able to transform the world from a place where nations quarrel to where basic needs are met and reunited in common adventure exploration. This shows that resource scarcity is the thing that's dragging us down, but it's also the thing that we can push ourselves to world peace. Technology exists now, but we're not taking advantage of it. That is the next step. Swedish 2010. We cannot afford to remain complacent about the moon while other countries move forward to reap the rewards of lunar return. The fact that we have not taken advantage of technology that already exists baffles me, which is why exactly I'm proposing this plan, so that unused plans such as this technology can be activated and new better ideas can be thought of as we grind it out. Helium-3 is found abundantly on the moon, key to advancement of nuclear fusion. Douglas Globe and Mail, May 2012. Helium-3, a lightweight isotope of familiar helium gas, is found on Earth, but in such limited quantity they cannot be used for fuel for nuclear fusion. It is available on the moon and is often cited as one of the most promising resource discoveries in space so far. Transporting as a high-value, low-volume mineral back to the Earth for use here represents the next stage of mining in space, after the first stage known as the C2 resource utilization. Helium-3 is a very important lightweight isotope, and it matters a lot to nuclear fusion since it runs it. If we mine the moon, then we can get abundant amounts of this particular gas. Mining the moon is key to exploration of the space. Our partner will extend this one and advantages. One, the moon's proximity is ideal for colonization. Swedish Planetary Institute 2010. The moon is the closest planetary object to the space to Earth, and it contains the necessary material and energy resources creating spacefaring capabilities. Its proximity to Earth is a key attribute. We can control robotic machines on the lunar surface from Earth to accomplish a variety of tasks. This relation is crucial. It permits early and significant accomplishment on the moon prior to human arrival. We use the proximity of the moon to set up functioning, productive installation before human arrives. Constant availability of the launch window, relatively low requirements. The moon is the most accessible extraterrestrial body. This accessibility adds significant flexibility to operational plans as we can send or retrieve access to and from the moon. This shows that because the moon is close, it is ideal for colonization. 2. The moon is ideal for settlement. Shapiro, Space Review 2012. There's no need to go so far to protect ourselves. The Earth will once again become the best home for humanity in the solar system. We can all be safest, easiest, if the safe section is nearby. For these uses, we urge you to vote effectively.
2 minutes.
So you said that Russia wants to build a permanent moon base?
They don't want to, they will.
So what will that?
If Russia builds a permanent moon base, then already they're going ahead of us, the U.S. If they go ahead of U.S., then all that liberty, that kind of thing will disappear as first Russia, then China, then Japan, they'll all start overtaking U.S., which could be bad for us.
So Japan wants to join it too?
Yes, I said that at the end of my card. Japan has interest in the moon exploration.
So, an astronomically expensive plan
it was a plan that was proposed by Newt Gingrich back in January, but then he was a presidential candidate. There's no reason why the other presidential candidates won't adapt that idea, and it could mean like that our economy should collapse way worse than it's already known about right now.
So what do you mean by we're not taking advantage of the technology that
Where?
exists right now? Solvency.
So let's see. Again, where?
4.
4. And by it says here that technology is existing right now, right? But if technology is existing right now, we're not using that technology to our advantage. We're just leaving it to rust, and we're not using it. That's why we need like technology like that to like be rebuilt. Crap.
And then see 8 minutes.
So first I'm going to say top candy, then I'm going to do critiques, and then counter plan, and then disadvantages,
Wait, which ones?
political, spectating, and environmental.
PDA, SPA, EDA,
Yeah.
environmental disadvantages. Okay.
And there's time allowed I'm going to do some case attacks.
So it says hospitality. What was it? Right.
Here.
Hospitality, critiques, counter plan, DDA.
Three, two, one, go. Current one, top down, yeah. Overview. Current plan is followed within the topic of the resolution to be valid. A definition of current plan is non-topical because they violate the word its in the resolution. According to the glossary of English grammar terms 2005, its are possessive pronouns used and to show ownership. According to Birch 2011, NASA is being asked to straddle a fence to support both commercial access to low Earth orbit and build its own fleet of the new space vehicles under at least years. Senate proposed NASA will spend $400 million to foster private development of commercial crew services to orbit and $4.5 billion on the launch rocket and a crew vehicle. This shows that NASA's support of commercial space development is distinct from its own space development programs. B. Validation of further plan increases incentive for the commercial development of spaces is distinct from federally owned projects. C. Voting issue. 1. Allowing for private companies explores the topic. Infinite possible incentives and allows the further plans to provide incentives to other countries and claim cooperation relations advantages with everyone who has space programs. 2. Ground. Debates on the sport. Each team should have 50-50 chance of winning, but they can't tell us exactly who they're requesting or what they're requesting from. Then how are we supposed to know what they're about to debate about? 3. Education. Our plan best educates the audience because our media is too vague and don't exactly know what they're trying to teach us. They don't have voting rights. 4. Jurisdiction. It's not within your jurisdiction to vote for a non-topical case. A judge can only vote for a case that has topical to resolution. Connect to critiques. 1. Space mining leads to space armed races. Helium-3 mining leads to space armed races. Belgium 2008. China has tested an anti-satellite weapon and Russia has stated that it will not allow other states to control space and threaten its own space assets in Asia. Space race seems to be developing between China, Japan, and India in the far future, and the large emphasis of helium-3 on the moon's surface, which could lead to materialize race to colonize the moon to secure helium-3 for nuclear fusion energy technologies. This shows that countries fight over mining the moon first. Impact. The plan will spur legal disputes over ownership for resources. Both 2011 would-be moon miners will need the lures if they don't keep the lunar resources they're harvesting. According to the space policy experts, the United States Treaty of 1967 appears to permit extraction of lunar water and other resources, but it's clear who would own the material once they're extracted. Space law experts said determining ownership of those resources might be a complicated matter. This shows that there are no clear ownership think it's too late to review or change the laws that apply to the property of the mining of the moon. Investment by private sector capitalism is discouraged by current legal agreement. The current rules have also hampered the actions of states intent of developing the moon as part of the search for resources. This shows that lunar laws are needed before going to the moon. Land mining counterplan. The United States federal government should increase the required mining operations of rare earth elements in the 50 states to satisfy domestic requirements. Counterplan legitimacy. 1. Our counterplan does not fall under the topic of the resolution since our plan is earth-based. 2. Our counterplan is competitive. Our counterplan is mutually exclusive. It cannot be compatible with the affirmative plan since our plan doesn't cost anything. 3. Our counterplan solves the affirmative harm, and there are RE shortage, China's monopolization, and we provide clean energy. Plan 2. Counterplan harm. 1. Rare element shortage. Too much development. Demand for the rare earth is expected to grow by 60% between 2011 and 2050, driven by the increasing demand for application. This shows that our time period is short. The next few years are key to stabilize rare earth elements demand. We must find supply solutions to meet our current demands in the long run. It's too late if we don't act now. 2. Foreign dependence on REs hurt U.S. national security. Rare 2010, the U.S. military is dependent on REs as modern weapons for smart bombs to tank requires these metals. The ability to America to wage war depends on steady supply for rare earth. China should shut down America's military in a matter of months. This shows that rare earth elements are key to the U.S. military. There are no substitutes. China has the ability to cripple the U.S. military by restricting the amount of REs exported from China to the U.S. Plan 3. Counterplan policy. 1. Mining on rare earth elements has been recently approved. On 1st, 2010, legitimacy proposal H.R. 6160 has been introduced to support domestic production of REs because of congressional concerns over access to rare earth raw materials and downstream products used in many nations' security application and clean energy technology. House approved H.R. 6160 on September 10, 1910 by a vote of 325 to 98. This shows that the government has approved domestic production of REs. 2. Solve resource scarcity on Earth. Kingston, Dooley, 2008. Rare earths are relatively abundant in the Earth's crust. U.S. world resources are primary to the Bamson and Monson deposits in the United States constitutes the largest percentage of the world's rare earth economic resources. This shows that REs are very abundant in the U.S. alone. 3. U.S. ownership. Because of the growing economic gap between U.S. and China with regard to the study of rare earth elements, it can be beneficial to the U.S. to strive to close the gap by having Congress and military commands place more emphasis on education and awareness on rare earth elements of critical resources. This shows that by creating a stockpile of REs allow the U.S. to control supply and demand system for 20 years. 4. Self-homeland security. CNN 2012. The Obama administration case against China reported back in 2010 there's a widespread use of rare earth materials in defense systems, including precision-guided munition, lasers, communication systems, radar systems, avionics, night vision equipment, satellite, and more. This shows that rare earth elements is key to empower safety in our homeland. 5. Solve clean energy technology. The Department of Energy released a critical material strategy report last month which found that the rare earths are necessary for clean energy technology. This shows that RE can solve clean energy technology. Contention 2. Disadvantages. Political disadvantage. Uniqueness. Currently, Obama is going to make substantial cuts. Saperstein 2012. Obama was willing to make substantial cuts in order to get necessary reduction to retaining current tax rates. Obama's commitment to short-term spending cuts overstimulated the economy. Link. The federal power will uniquely cause damage to Obama's electability and kills the economy. True in 2011. Without significant spending cuts and changes, there will be no increase in debt limits. This shows that foreign power will weaken the government with significant spending cuts. Impact. In the end, Obama will be out of the political capital and lose the election. My partner will extend the evidence for the impact. Spending disadvantage. Uniqueness. Currently, the U.S. is on the brink of another recession. Link. The federal plan will uniquely cause damage to the current economy. Impact. In the end, the federal plan will cause economic collapse and even worse. My partner will also extend the evidence for political disadvantage and spending disadvantage. Environmental disadvantage. The moon's gravitational pull causes tide patterns. The moon's gravitational pull on the Earth is the main cause of the rise and fall of the ocean tides. The combined forces of gravity and the Earth's rotation and other factors usually cause 2 high tides and 2 low tides each day. This shows that the change for a gravitational pull will destroy tidal patterns and cause a potentially dead change in the weather patterns. 2. Climate change causes health problems. The American Medical Association and the American Public Health Association last week, when they came together to lay out a health case against global warming, climate change is responsible for an increasing number of health problems, including asthma, diarrhea, disease, and even deaths the show